Lights, camera, action. Did we switch back to that?
It's always been that. Now it's just Michael Bolton at the end being like, boys, let's
I
get
thought that
to
was
it.
at the beginning.
That's at the beginning.
No way.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh. It goes that and then Alex's song. When are you going to get us a new one?
It's not my song. I need to make something.
I mean, you made it.
Yeah. Yeah, we could do some like instrumental with like.
You guys have
horns
to
and shit.
be way closer to the microphone. Like, that's what I'm saying. I think it's better in the middle.
This is the middle.
Yeah, baby, you know what I'm saying right here.
I
Yeah.
don't know.
You know how I do. What I do,
Know I
baby.
What do you do, baby?
I wouldn't put that in your mouth. It's kind of dusty.
I wouldn't.
It's like your dusty ass.
He always says like dusty balls.
Right.
Who?
I don't know.
We're recording.
Dusty balls.
I like looked up and I was like, yes. There's one.
There's one.
There's one.
There's one dusty ball.
Gosh.
It's like 4 dusty
Such
ball
a-
reference in a minute.
Such a filthy mouth. Does your mother listen to this podcast?
How's dusty ball filthy?
I mean, they're dusty and they're bald. That's pretty filthy.
That is pretty filthy.
That's pretty filthy. All right, we ready? Wait, hold on. Before we start, you gotta turn the fan off in there.
Oh yeah.
No, not the light.
This is how we're recording.
Turn the light off.
This is how we're recording.
And now it's time for the low time. Jazz.
Yeah.
Here we go. We're about to get into
This is
it.
Jazz
This is the
97.3.
first podcast where we're recording with the lights off.
Recording in the dark.
Yeah. We gotta conserve energy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Please turn the light
The
back
sponsors aren't paying the bills.
The
so-
sponsor, Philly and T's failing us.
Yeah, he's not hooking up with the electric bill.
It's not doing shit. What's up, everybody? 3 amigos and a podcast. Guys, turn the lights on. It's creeping me out.
on. I find
creeping
it,
you.
I find it odd that I have to tell you twice.
Yeah.
Well, it's more than just the 3 amigos today.
Yeah, we got a special guest, the 4th member of the HMD Gang,
Damn.
Mr. Shagafi.
Hello, bruvs.
Hello.
Thanks for having me in your home.
Alex is the one that makes our intro song for us, so, Xander Music on Spotify with an X or a Z.
Little shout out.
Xander_music on SoundCloud, and we have a playlist going on Spotify. It's Xander Radio. If you guys are on Spotify.
That was a huge plug. We didn't need all that.
Yeah,
Did
we
not need
gotta
that.
support this man.
Yeah.
Just trying to keep you guys connected like cable, you know?
That's tough.
Damn, that was pretty bad.
Anyways, but yeah, Alex, glad you're here. Glad you're down. It's a good time.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Even though you're being extremely difficult where to eat dinner, but what can we expect from you?
Yeah, nothing less.
I'm allergic to like 75% of food out there, so you guys gotta take the wing on
And
this.
you know he's going to hate whatever you order. So.
Oh, he's gonna make a mistake for sure.
He's gonna pick out all the food.
Oh, I should have gotten this with pepperoni.
Wait, that's what yours looks like? Damn.
Damn, that's what I wanted.
As long as I bring my bib, I'm good.
Why do you have a bib?
I don't.
Are you a baby?
Duh, baby.
I knew I set myself up for that one.
Yeah.
But anyways, man, you want to fill our listeners in? How you doing? What's going on?
Yeah, man. I'm here to check out the podcast and kind of talk sports with you guys. I'm ready. I'm excited.
Coming and visiting us too, and
Coming in hot.
coming in hot.
Very nice. So how's the the year's coming to an end? Year reflection of the year. How's it been? It's been all right.
We're powering through a lot of big changes coming up, and ironically, I was at 24 Hour Fitness today, and you see this lady hiding behind a pillar with a camera, and she's like, "Hey, you over there?" And I'm like, "Hey, how you doing?" And she's like, "Yeah, do you have a New Year's resolution?" And I'm like, I'm almost there. I'm not there yet." And she's like, "Well, you and 200 other people, but thanks anyways." I'm like, have a great New Year. Yeah, nobody wanted to tell her their resolution.
But why was she doing a video at the gym? That's so
She was
weird.
hiding behind the pillar too. That was the best part. I don't know.
It's like, did she hold the camera up to like the phone to you?
It
when
was
you said
just her with a microphone in her hand and the camera. So she was solo, just gunning for this footage.
Wait, it wasn't like her phone. It was like an over-the-shoulder
It was
camera.
an over-the-shoulder camera. There was a white van parked out there. I don't know what was in it, but
Did they
she
give
was-
you candy?
No, she didn't.
did
No,
you get
This
it?
is sounding like the creepiest story ever.
Yeah, did it say grape on the side?
she literally is
grape
just
pen.
peeking over the pillar and just waiting for someone to come and approach her. But I had my headphones in. I had the pre-workout going on. I was bucked up at the time, so I was just ready to go. And I was like, "Hey, I'm sorry. I'm gonna go work this out."
I'm surprised you didn't think of something on the spot. Usually you're like, you know what I mean?
You know,
got the quick wit.
Yeah, I could have been a comedian about it, but I was like, you know what? She's by herself. I don't know where this footage is going. I'd rather not.
You're gonna be like that dude that was like, what would you do if you won the lottery? Spend it on strippers and cocaine. Okay, that's not what we need.
Yeah.
So, given thought, do you have a New Year's resolution?
I will tell you, like I told her, I'm not sure yet, but thanks for asking.
After all that time, you didn't come up with something. You weren't like, it didn't jog your memory to be like, oh, what is my New Year's resolution?
I hit the gym. I left. I visited Ryan at work. I got some Viartas. I was chilling. It didn't even occur
It
to
sounds
me.
like a Bill Belichick in an interview.
Yeah,
Like,
for real. Give
just
me more
completely
information.
avoiding the question. Like, we're looking forward to next week.
On to Cincinnati.
On to 2020. All right. Well, yeah. That's kind of all I got for you. I mean, we'd talk sports unless you guys got anything to talk to them about.
No.
I mean, honestly, I thought maybe you'd bring a little bit more to the podcast because we're recording on a Tuesday, so we're kind of low on like sports news and.
I'm here for puns, guys. Let's knock this out of the park.
All right,
Great.
on the whiteboard, just mark your bad jokes on the whiteboard.
You got Brandon's cuss words on one side and Alex's puns on the other.
I'm 1 for 1 right now. We're doing good, baby.
You got bad dad jokes over here.
Jesus. All right, well, yeah, let's get into some sports then. Talk. We like sports, and we don't care who knows.
Yeah, man. Week hasn't even
Shooting
started
hoops,
yet, so
Super Bowl.
let's go.
I know it's interesting recording on a Tuesday. I mean, we've done it a few times, but usually we're Wednesday, Thursday, so we get a little bit more news. Get to digest what happened the week before a little bit more. Think about what we're gonna say, but it's whatever. Because of Alex, we'll start early.
Got the podcast going up on a Tuesday.
There we go.
We want to make Alex feel at home, so
I feel like he does that enough already.
yeah.
Dude's fucking sleeping on the couch. I told him I got the Arlo cameras outside. I have like 4 videos on my phone of him leaving or coming or going and just like dancing before he leaves. Or doing like the suck it chop to the camera. I'm like, all right, dude.
Once you tell me I'm being filmed, it's on.
Yeah. That was probably the best one. He did a little dance and then at the end he did the suck it chop and just walked inside the house. Like, all right.
I was reenacting Bop by the Baby.
But yeah, last weekend, college football, we had championship weekend. We had a little, 7-game parlay going, but thanks to Central Michigan losing to Ohio,
That was the only one.
Miami. No.
No, we picked Oregon, did we not?
No.
Oh, shit.
We
never
had
mind.
Baylor, which also lost for us. That was a huge upset. I mean, well, not a huge upset, but still, I wanted to go Oregon, but then on Twitter, this guy was like, "It's the Dr. Pepper Bowl. Dr. Pepper's from Waco. Gotta go Baylor. They're winning it." And I was like, "You sold me," and it didn't pan out that way. So needless to say, our 17 parlay took a dump, and we did not win.
It failed.
Yeah.
But it was definitely a good weekend for college football. Every team won, I believe, that was supposed to win outside of Utah and Oregon, which I felt like was a pretty good matchup.
Mm-hmm.
Clemson showed out big against Virginia, 62-17. LSU dominated Georgia, who was the number 4 team at the time.
Oh yeah.
Ohio State came out a little bit slow against Wisconsin, but then they turned it on. I think they had like 24 unanswered points or something like that.
Yeah, they went out 14-0.
Yeah,
in
it
the
was
first quarter,
wasn't looking
and then-
good. And I was calling Dean throughout most of that, like, what if this happens? What if this happens? Because, these 4 teams at the top, we were all kind of expecting only one of them to lose. And then Ohio State kind of fell down a little bit. And we're like, would they still be a top 4 team? And then Oklahoma snuck their way into the college football playoff by Georgia losing and them defeating Baylor in overtime. That game was crazy.
The game was crazy, and especially in overtime, man. I felt bad for, I don't even know the guy's name, the true freshman backup quarterback for Baylor. Yeah. I mean, I feel bad for him because that's tough to come into like the Pac-12 championship game or Big 12 championship game, and then have it go to overtime. they score first. You gotta,
It's quick.
They
scored quick.
But they scored quick, and it's like you got to get in there. You got to lead this team down. And dude, that offensive line
they got
did not
sacked
give him
3 times or something like that.
3 times, and it was like 4th and 26 or something.
Yeah,
like that.
it was
something
bad.
ridiculous.
I felt bad because it's not how you want to like remember your last game, especially going into the Big 12 championship game with a potential, college playoff berth at the line for them at that point.
Mm-hmm.
And Oklahoma's defense just showed out. They stopped them dead in their tracks. So
Yeah.
we got it lined up now. LSU's number 1, Ohio State's number 2, Clemson number 3, and Oklahoma number 4. So we're gonna see Oklahoma versus LSU and Ohio State versus Clemson. Which, I mean, honestly, this is a 3-headed monster going to the college football playoff. It'll be very interesting to see what the SEC, ACC, and Big Ten bring to the tournament. I mean, I've been rolling with Ohio State all year, so I feel like they kind of drew the shit card on this one, having to play Clemson first, but we'll get to see what Clemson's made of.
That's the other thing, too. It's like we were saying, the ACC is like Clemson really hasn't played anybody all season. Not saying that they're not deserving of it, but at the same time, we don't know how they're going to game plan for a real college
and
football
a real defense.
Exactly.
And in Clemson, I mean, mind you, they still have the best recruiting class the last couple of years, so they have talent on their roster. But when you go up against a team like Ohio State with a dude like Chase Young on that side, I mean, there's nobody in the ACC that runs after you like he will.
No.
And there's not corners that can lock receivers down like they can. So it's going to be a test. And I feel like with Trevor Lawrence and, a big test to him, because this game could come down to a lot of scoring. How he handles a situation where he doesn't have as much time to throw is going to see what kind of quarterback he's potentially going to be in the future.
Yeah, I totally agree.
But this is the same dude that beat Alabama by a lot last year, so we can't give him, discredit him at all.
Exactly. Can I just say, though, that I'm so annoyed how late these games are. Like, they're not playing until December 28th.
It's earlier, though, than it used to. It used to be New Year's Day, I think.
That was the championship game. Not the quarterfinal or whatever it is. Like the, you know what I mean? The college football championship should be on.
Or New Year's Day. Yeah, because every time we've flown back from Indiana, it's always the same day as the. Maybe that was 2 years ago. Maybe it started different last year.
I don't know, but I'm just like, I want more college football, and I want it now.
Yeah.
Give it to me now. Yeah, and then Sunday, you guys were all over. Oh, shit. I feel so bad. I didn't ask you guys how your weeks were.
No, it's fine. We basically covered that because...
It's Alex's fault.
Yeah.
Damn
Anyways.
you, Alex.
Damn you, Alex. Anyways, so Sunday, you guys came over for the games. Surprise was Alex sitting on my couch, butt-ass naked for you. No, I'm just kidding.
Wait, are we done with NCAA football?
No, you want to keep saying going?
Well, there was one other thing I just wanted to add real quick, is they have the Heisman finalists.
Oh, yeah.
It's Chase Young, Jalen Hurts, Joe Burrow, and Justin Fields.
Justin Fields?
Justin Fields, yeah. So it's one of the, I think he's only like the 6th or 7th defensive player to be, only the 4th defensive tackle or defensive lineman to ever be nominated for the Heisman. Joe Burrow is probably walking away with this trophy, but it's nice to see some recognition for the dude that missed a couple games.
Yeah, that's Saturday too, right? Did it get announced?
I think so.
Announced? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's tough because I know we talked about a little bit last week of who our fan favorites were, and I mean, still though, Jalen Hurts, man.
No way.
I know.
Too many turnovers at the end of the year. I was telling Dean, like, Joe Burrow put up phenomenal numbers. Justin Fields had 40 touchdown passes and 1 interception all year.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy on any playing field. One time.
1 interception. Imagine being that one guy.
Yeah, right.
I'd be talking shit.
I got you.
Be like, oh, did you intercept him? I didn't think so. Shut the fuck up. But yeah, are we good on college?
Yeah, that's all I want.
All right, cool. NFL, like I was saying, Sunday, week 14, you guys came over, watched the games. A lot of just like vanilla games, I felt like, throughout the day. A lot of games that were just kind of more or less like not as exciting, that kind of thing.
There's a couple good ones.
There was
really
a couple good ones that we didn't see coming, I really think. There was the Rams-Saints game and then the Texans upset.
49ers.
Sorry. 49ers-Saints game and then the Texans upset. Those were like the big games of the week for me. All else, the 9 morning games were kind of eh. But also, I wasn't playing in fantasy, so it wasn't that exciting.
Yeah, I mean, Green Bay, Washington was a close-ish game. Baltimore, I feel like they handled Buffalo for the majority of that game. It just looked a little bit closer.
It was still close, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't in danger.
Yeah, exactly.
I would say the one shout out for the morning games, I like to give the kicker for the Dolphins some credit because he had 7 freaking field goals in that game.
But he missed one of them.
That's
He could have.
Are you serious? You can't be like this guy. He's like, I've kicked more field goals than I do in practice.
Yeah.
All I gotta say is he had a chance to tie the NFL record.
well.
But still, props to him. 7's pretty impressive.
I mean, but not good enough.
Yeah. Not good enough because they lost.
I feel like if you
It's
gave
like
me
How I
all
Met
day,
Your
I
Mother.
wouldn't-
Not good enough.
Yeah, that was a good game, but let's start off with this 49ers Saints game. I mean, we talked about it last week. This kind of has like some kind of like first round bye
massive
implication.
playoff.
Yeah, some
massive playoff
NFC
implication.
championship potential.
Yeah, and we all thought it was going to be a defensive game. Huge shootout. Can't
Yeah,
even say
man.
that
Without
word.
a doubt, yeah.
And they both got super fancy. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
Emmanuel Sanders had a huge, I don't know if it was a blown play or not, but it was like a 75-yard touchdown.
He also threw one, too.
Yeah.
Emmanuel Sanders did.
It kind of reminded me, at the beginning of the year, I think all the focus was on the Patriots' defense and everybody, But if you remember, in the last year, he had these massive scoring games. So it's kind of a little bit of taste of what we saw last year, but from two teams that you don't really see it coming from. The 49ers aren't a massive offensive juggernaut. They're a great offense. They run the ball really well. They handle their business and they win games. The Saints have an explosive offense for sure, but I did not see the 49ers keeping pace in a shootout. So that was huge for them. And with Seattle's loss, it put them back in the lead for their division with the number 1 seed.
They were down by, I think, a couple touchdowns early in that game, and they still rallied back.
Yeah, man.
I was thoroughly impressed with their offense going forward. Why are you touching?
No, yeah, I agree. I was on both sides of the ball. I mean, the Saints always kind of have that explosion factor to them where they can just turn it on and score 50 points in a game, even though their defense ain't going to do shit. They can still put up a lot of points. But for the 49ers, I just didn't think Jimmy G had a game in him like that.
Yeah. The one thing with this game was funny is I know a lot of people are talking about the non-pass interference call again on the Saints player when they ran the fake punt.
Yeah.
And to me, it was very interesting because in that situation, I can't for the life of me understand why you're running a fake punt. I get it. It was definitely it didn't look good, but
yeah,
at that point, I mean, I'm not going to blame the defender because he thought it was a punt.
Yeah,
you're never going to get that call because the refs still as well think it's a punt.
It's a punt. Yeah,
never going to get that call.
Yeah, I mean,
I've seen fake punts before, and I never.
Yeah,
never.
It just wasn't. Yeah, it just wasn't well designed. Usually, fake punts aren't designed to go on a deep ball.
It looked like a play from Madden, where you just have your punter chuck one down the field, and it's
go up and get it.
The dude that's running next to him is one of the fastest people on the team. He has to be because you got to keep pace with whoever your speed burner is
with the gunner. Yeah.
So it's not like he's some scrub out there that doesn't know how to play football. He's fast
or how to stick with somebody.
Yeah. So. I mean, I just didn't understand the play call, and I felt like that kind of put them back a little bit. Well, definitely put them back behind the sticks because 49ers had a lot shorter of a field to go. But
yeah, I just love how everyone immediately was like, Saints get screwed again by the refs.
Yeah, right.
Well, I mean, they're kind of screwing themselves at this point.
They kind of switched up their game plan. They were doing a lot more, Taysom Hill was a lot more involved early in the game, and then the guy just was not involved. It was once the shootout was on, they're like, all right, we're done with these trick plays. Let's just go.
They went away from the run. They just put the ball in Drew Brees' hand, and it just came down to whoever got the ball last.
Yeah, I mean,
which is a
and
typical
George Kittle was
game.
a freaking animal on that last drive.
Oh yeah,
yeah. In that face mask too. It was honestly.
Absolutely.
Is it safe to say he's the best tight end in football?
No.
Who's the best tight end in football?
I think Kelsey is, personally.
Yeah,
but I think Kittle is a strong number 2. And then I'd probably throw Ertz at 3.
Yes, definitely.
All right.
Kelsey's just got
Kelsey's just freaking stud.
He's just so athletic.
Yeah, it'd be tough because like Kelsey's in a like class of his own. I feel like it's a lot how Gates was, the best tight end in football because he was different. I mean, he lined up at the slot most of the time and he ran receiver type routes. Kelsey's just a different animal. I mean, even like if you look at Gronk and Kelsey, I think Kelsey plays football smarter and he's a little bit more knowledgeable than Gronk just being a physical specimen. And I ultimately feel like that's why Gronk's career was cut a lot shorter.
I mean, you got to give a nod to Darren Waller, too. He's a stud. Alex, what do you think?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to get Alex involved here.
Yeah, he's a real stud.
Yeah,
he's a stud muffin.
He's a real stud. For those of you that don't know, Alex is from the Bay. All the cool people.
The Bay Area representing the Oakland Raiders in the house.
What's your area code? No, the 3 numbers before. Yeah, well, let's get your thoughts and opinions on that Raider game, Raider Titans.
Yeah, didn't like it. Didn't go down well, but kept my jersey on the whole way through. I was still rooting for them even when they were,
they lost by 21,
away.
right?
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, they were kind of in it early,
plays,
but they seemed competitive for a little bit, and then the wheels fell off.
Went out the door.
Can I just say, like,
that wasn't a sports pun.
When do they give up on Derek Carr?
Derek Carr's kind of given up on himself. He's not giving up on his team, but he's ever since his or I don't know if it was his finger or that original injury when they were in the playoffs. He
had that hangnail.
The hangnail.
Yeah.
When he was crying after.
No comment.
After he got sacked.
It's not. It's a no.
Next question, please.
It's a no disrespect.
On to Cincinnati.
On to Cincinnati.
It's a no disrespect to him. Like, I mean, he's a good football player. He was an MVP candidate at one point in his career. He's done well. I feel like he's just had his ceiling or hit a ceiling and then constantly regressed. And I don't think that the Raiders as a whole, like they have good playmakers on that team, and I don't think Derek Carr can progress them forward.
I think it's awkward because him and fucking
Gruden live together.
Gruden live next to each other, like they're neighbors. So I feel like that's gonna be awkward to be like, "Hey man, we're gonna trade you." Like,
I mean,
but do you want your lawnmower back, or can I? You know what I mean?
Like he's done better this year than he has last year, but I also feel like a lot of that is Gruden kind of stamping his ability or his offensive ability on what this team can do, and it's run the ball.
Yeah.
So they've taken the game out of Derek Carr's hands a lot, but when they ask him to do something, it doesn't get done.
I think go ahead.
And he gets upset.
I think it just kind of it comes down to like the system, and it's more or less like if he can't learn Gruden's system, where else is he going to be able to go?
It's not a hard system.
That's what I'm saying. That's why it's like if you can't learn this, where are you going to be able to go?
Gruden is the king of simplifying the offense.
Yeah.
And if there's any coach out there that can go in there and beat you or make you beat yourself, essentially, it's Gruden's offense that he runs because they're going to get yardage on every play.
Mm-hmm.
They're not every play, but they're going to move the ball. They're going to get downfield. They're going to score.
Somebody's going to be open somewhere at some point.
And
it's not.
And Derek Carr just continuously makes mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he threw 2 bad interceptions in that game. Very bad.
Yeah, very bad. And it sucks too because it's like they were kind of hot early and they're not going to get a good draft pick. So it's like you're going to kind of have to reach if you want to retool that position.
3 last year in the first round. It's like they have a bright future ahead of them if they have anybody on the quarterback side that can just not lose games.
Yeah.
Because like even looking at some of like I think that most of the drives. Let me see real quick.
Timeout. Dude, that's why we need a soundboard. I just don't know how to set it up. Yeah, how do we set that up? You're the audio guy.
Sample. You just sample the audio.
Where do I get samples?
You would have to map the keys on the keyboard, or if you had like a small
Never mind, it's not showing me.
Keyboard to actually use those with. You can do it in Logic for sure. I'll sit. I'll set you up.
Yeah, I'm going to need that.
He didn't throw 2
Yeah, he's
interceptions.
gonna
My bad.
need
You can
that.
cut that out.
Are we going to cut that part out?
Yeah.
You're just gonna cut it.
All right, we're at like 23.
Yeah.
No, just make the.
Yep. But yeah, anyways, it's just gonna be difficult for. It's just gonna be difficult for where the Raiders are gonna go in the future.
Yeah,
I feel like they're kind of at a standstill. They're in that middle of the road. How I don't like the Bills were a couple of years ago, where they're just like they're not terrible, but they're not good.
Yeah, they're not getting any better with who they had behind the center.
Exactly.
And I feel like, I don't know, as weird as it sounds, players like, Teddy Bridgewater, even a player like Marcus Mariota would do better in that sort of scheme because they're not asked to do a lot.
Well, the
As well as,
Panthers are going to try to trade Cam Bam, so he would not do good in a Gruden system.
No.
That wouldn't be. Yeah, he would not be the one. Then we had a question last week to see if the Panthers were going to be able to bounce back, see if they can get their organization back in order, and answer is no. The Falcons rolled over them. Final score ended up being 40-20, which is just ridiculous. Panthers just, I don't know what they're gonna do. They start off strong, but they just cannot finish seasons.
I feel like they're destined for a rebuild. I mean, it just seems like the writing's on the wall. They just fired their head coach. Seems like they never really had that full reset after their Super Bowl run. They're done with Cam Newton. Kyle Allen doesn't look like he's that great. I mean,
doable.
Yeah,
I mean, we'll see.
He's decent, but
they
he's
get
not.
Some weapons around him. I
don't-
just think that this boils down to the unfortunate truth that teams need to stop drafting running backs in the first round because you're going to waste the talent you have with Christian McCaffrey. And it's the same thing the Giants are doing. The short-term career that running backs have is gone to waste, and you can't build around a running back anymore. The NFL just doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
You have to start with the offensive line. You have to have a good quarterback. You have to have a good defense, and there's a lot more things. What's going on over there, guys?
They're just playing patty cake.
Having a Yeti war. War between the Yetis.
Oh my God,
Jesus Christ!
But yeah,
Yeti gang.
So they just need to stop drafting running backs in the first round because a year or two later, you're in a rebuild or you're not in a situation to win, and these top 10 running backs aren't doing anything for you.
Yeah, I do. I feel terrible for their players because they have such talent and it just goes to waste.
Yeah, I mean Christian McCaffrey is going to be put in a totally new system next year. Maybe Norv will still be there. Maybe he won't. When a head coach gets fired, generally the offensive and defensive coordinators
go as well.
Yeah, go as well. So who knows if that offensive coordinator is going to be able to scheme for Christian McCaffrey as well as Norv has done. And it's not impactful for the player. You're wasting their talent. And you have a dude like Alvin Kamara who was a late, draft pick, and he's going to be doing just as well in a scheme where they're winning games and having a chance to win a Super Bowl.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. Then we had the upset of the week with the Texans losing to the Broncos. I mean, Brandon, you said it best on Sunday. This just seemed like an overshadow on a team.
Yeah, it seemed like the Texans looked at the Broncos as just this team they were going to just steamroll, and that didn't happen. And anytime you have a young quarterback coming in, you just don't know what to expect, and you should be prepared for the worst, essentially. Mm-hmm. And it didn't seem like they came out ready to play. And I mean, I think you've talked about this before. You're not a huge fan of Bill O'Brien. I mean, you got as a head coach, it's your job to get the players prepared for these games.
Exactly.
And they did not come out prepared.
The one thing that the Broncos have done well, in this whole mist of trying to find a quarterback is they've surrounded their not so great quarterback with great weapons. Noah Fant, Cortland Sutton, at one time in the year, Emmanuel Sanders. They have Philip Lindsay, who's been putting it down for him. There's a lot of good players on the Broncos team, and Drew Lock is just finding ways to get him the ball.
Yeah, and that's all he has to do.
And
that's his job.
And that's something that the two other dudes that they put in prior to struggled with. And I don't think that the Broncos are a bad team.
No, I don't think they are.
You guys are so distracting.
I think it's funny because I'm looking over and Alex is trying to do some research on the games. He's like, all right, what's going on? I don't know what the hell's happened in this game, but let me do a little quick research.
Way to just call him out like that.
Sorry, I'm trying to be a part of the podcast just because there's no four amigos.
He's just trying to be one of the guys.
No,
I'm like
I
trying
got-
to talk, and like Alex is sitting over there like this on his phone. It's like, and
And
Brandon's
Brandon's
like,
looking over, giggling.
HMD Gang stands for Hand Me Details.
Hand me
what do
what?
you need, like a spreadsheet?
Details.
Oh,
Like, give me the numbers, man.
yeah. Do we need to print out a fact list for you?
How many passing yards did Drew Lock have?
If I needed to know stats, I'd ask Brandon.
Brandon is our resident stat guy.
Well, not on games I
football.
don't give a shit about.
Yeah.
It's out there
Wait.
in the open, fellas.
Yeah, it's not like the Texans are walking away with their division. You know what I mean? It's
the Titans are looking a hell of a lot better than
that's
they
the
are
thing.
right now.
It's like you don't get to have a game where you just get to overlook a team.
No,
that's not. You're not in that position.
and it just goes to show that they did overlook them because, I mean, they came back pretty well there. They had a chance there late in the football game.
yeah.
But, I mean, too little too late. And, you know, I mean, Deshaun Watson, fantastic quarterback. And they've been able to move the ball very well all year. And they just hit the snooze button on this one.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Then we had the Chiefs and the Patriots game. This one was another one that kind of had some playoff implications to it.
Massive playoff implications to it, I feel like.
Massive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, both of them are making
Yeah.
the playoffs.
Yeah. I mean, it's seeding. It's massive seeding.
Yeah, seeding and like who gets
Yeah.
home field advantage, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
But
that's important.
I agree. But I think this game showed us how flat the Patriots are turning out to be.
I've been saying it for
Especially
the last 3
offensively.
weeks, man. What have they lost? 3 games in a row?
Yeah, 3 games in a row. It's just like week to week, nothing is getting going. And it's unfortunate because, you know what I mean? It's like you have nothing but praise to say for Bill Belichick and Tom Brady and even Julian Edelman, but those 3 guys can't win you a ball game.
Well, to me, what I'm seeing is Tom Brady's not necessarily doing that well. I mean, that's what it is. You see Bill Belichick trying to get creative with his play calling. He's getting his wide receivers doing a lot more trick plays and stuff. And I mean, that sounds like a guy who's really grasping to grab some life and inject some life into that offense.
I don't blame Tom. I get exactly what you're saying. He
Yeah.
doesn't have.
I'm not saying
he's not
everything.
the problem. There is an issue with
Their offense.
their offense, and he's
100%.
got a problem, and we talked about it, not enough playmakers. There's not enough people that can create space. There's not enough people that can go get the ball, and it turns into a very stagnant offense where it's, you know, cut and dry. We're going to run the ball. We're going to try to throw it short. We're going to micromanage the ball down the field, and we don't have anybody to burn them over the top, or we don't have, you know, Gronk to, you know, muscle somebody out over the middle. And
Or even just draw a safety to their side.
and they're hurting because everybody knows exactly what they're doing.
I really like seeing those diagrams where they show this is what they were doing last year, and this is what Gronk was doing for this team.
Oh, I know.
God.
It's like, yeah, that's real relatable.
Yeah.
They're playing the exact same defense. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. They don't have any new talent out there.
It's ridiculous. I mean, yes, like obviously losing Gronk is massive, but that's not why the Patriots are struggling.
No.
100%.
It's not.
No, it's not like they'd be massively like they would have some big plays and sometimes they'd be able to win like some of these close ball games they might have won that they lost, but at the same time he's not going to revolutionize your offense.
And they did get screwed over a couple times. That fumble that wasn't called.
They got
The
screwed
fumble
on
wasn't
calls in this
called.
game.
I mean,
The
I don't feel
touchdown that
bad
wasn't
for
called.
him, but the
No.
touchdown wasn't called. So it's not like the Patriots are done by any means.
No,
they're
for sure.
they're going to win their
I would
division.
never say that until it's done.
But we're talking about the Patriots as a playoff team, as a Super Bowl contending team, and it's hard to see that when you see teams like the Chiefs, the
Ravens. Those two teams, I feel like currently have higher
yeah,
than the Patriots.
and you're gonna have to play one of them, if not both of them, to get to the Super Bowl. So
More than likely, both
Yeah.
of them.
Yeah.
so it's not looking good.
No, it's definitely not looking good for him.
Can I comment how even the Patriots fans were booing their own team at the home game after?
Of course, you just read the article, so go ahead and give it to us.
Ah, damn! You put him on blast.
Fucking moment, Dean.
Go ahead. Oh, is that all you wanted to say? That's what happened?
Boo in your house.
They just booed him?
They've won 22 straight home games before that loss.
Wow,
It's-
that's impressive.
Wow.
It's. I mean, could you like? If I'm a freaking Patriots player and my fans start booing me, I'm like, "Fuck you,
Seriously.
fuck you."
You're not
Yeah.
Eagles
We
fans.
won
There's
22 straight
Spoiled
games.
ass fan base.
Yeah.
We're still the number one team in our division. We lost to a good football team,
Barely, too. That was a close game.
Yeah, it was still a close game.
and I'm gonna get booed on my way. What about the Super Bowl we just won? What the?
How many rings have I brought to you?
Well,
Yeah.
In your, you know.
And
If
then,
I'm a Patriots fan and we lose at this point, I'm just like, I mean, oh, all right.
Yeah.
and then there's like rumors that the fan base was like harassing Patrick Mahomes and his girlfriend too. I don't know if you guys saw that article too.
I mean, it's East Coast people, man.
It's
That
like-
doesn't surprise
It's
me.
like, dude, I mean, too far. Like, I know you're passionate about your team, but
Sports fans are starting to get out of hand a little
yeah,
bit.
and I feel like it's kind of glorified a little bit through social media. I know it's like totally on tangent. Like,
No,
but-
I literally was gonna say the same thing.
But-
It's too personal now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's too personal. People feel like they know people because of
They follow
they,
them.
they follow them, and it's like, oh, I see this is your girlfriend. Like, oh, how are you gonna let her always sit in her pajamas at home? No wonder you suck at football. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's like,
and like
what?
gets super personal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, damn. Okay,
Yeah, no
chill, man.
Yeah, you put steaks on you put ketchup on your steaks like a bitch. You're like, dude, calm down.
yeah.
Like that's not a big deal. You know? I don't know.
Does he actually do that? I saw in the
That's
commercial.
what he said. Yeah, I
That's
don't
what he
know.
says. He says he likes it that way, but I don't know.
God, that's such a waste.
Some people like it. I don't know.
When I saw it in the commercial, I'm like, that's such a waste of that steak. It looked like a perfect steak, and he just squirts the entire bottle. And he's staring at the camera. I'm like, damn, somebody just wasted a steak for this commercial.
But then we had the Monday Night Football game, which turned out to be extremely exciting. Eli Manning comes back for his start at home. They're playing well.
First half, he looked really good.
Looked real
Yeah.
good. Darius Slayton was throwing
Accurate
it
on
down.
deep passes.
Ends up going into overtime, and the Eagles win it on that overtime touchdown to Zach Ertz. And, Gordo had to be just pissing his pants with joy. That
Yeah,
pushed him into the playoffs.
I wonder how DJ felt.
DJ probably doesn't even know.
I texted him. He's like, son of a bitch. I guess I'm waiting for stat correction to change it. I
Oh
was
my
like,
God. He's
come
like,
on.
come on, commissioner, push something through for me.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, the
Little
Eagles,
50
man,
might
like
persuade me.
the Eagles did not deserve to win this game.
They didn't.
Like, I'm sorry, but that whole freaking NFC South,
NFC
No.
least.
NFC East,
NFC
NFC
East.
East. I always forget because damn Cowboys are in there.
Least.
Dude, it's a freaking garbage.
Oh, it's a
dump.
dumpster fire.
Thank you. That's what I was trying to say.
If the Giants had won that game, I think there was still a chance that all four teams could finish 6-10 or something ridiculous like that, and they'd all be tied for the division.
Or 6 and 7, you mean? And
No, 6-10.
6
Like
and-
if like
Oh,
certain
oh,
things
I get
worked
you.
out,
Yeah.
in
At the end of the
certain-
year, yeah.
I
Yeah.
get you.
and like just still, the division winner could still been 6-10.
I just don't understand how a team that's 2 years post Super Bowl looks this bad. Like,
It's Frank Reich.
Yeah,
Once he
he's gone.
oh, I was
gone.
like,
Once he-
what-
yeah.
He gone.
I was
like,
like, what are you talking about?
No, once he left,
Yeah.
that offense is just falling apart. And I mean, I can't say that they went with the wrong decision with going with Carson Wentz over Nick Foles, just because, I mean, he hasn't really done shit either.
Carson Wentz is
And-
the better quarterback.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Carson Wentz is
I feel
hands
like
down. Like,
Foles was a system quarterback.
Nick Foles got hot at the right time. He did the
Yeah.
right things in a system that was working.
Mhm.
It's just more or less like this whole season, it's hard to tell who's really the more talented quarterback in my eyes. Just seeing how.
Well, Nick Foles been out too, so
Yeah, well, I just meant like looking at the Eagles and being like, this is the offense you guys are putting out there. This seems like an offense
To
you
be
could have
fair,
ran with
they've
Nick
been
Foles as
without
well.
like all their wide receivers the whole season.
That
and
was
their-
tough.
And their secondary is like just awful. You
Mhm.
saw them get burnt on two massive plays that was what really put the Giants up significantly.
Yeah. Week 15, looking forward. Couple of games, Texans and Titans. They have 2 matchups in 3 weeks. And like we said, those are huge divisional games for AFC South. So both teams are tied right now. We'll see how
both
that.
pushing for a playoff spot. And I mean, one of these teams has to lose. And I mean, even if they split this series, like, you know, it's going to come down to a wild card spot. And right now, I mean, the Steelers still look like a good football team, but you got to keep pace with them. And it's going to be very interesting. The Titans are looking like a damn good football team right now, and Ryan Tannehill's lit a surge into that offense, and he's doing everything he's supposed to do, the opposite of what Derek Carr is doing in Oakland. And Derrick Henry's running away with freaking the ball every damn play. It's phenomenal.
I saw like a stat that since Tannehill has been the starting quarterback for the Titans, they have the second best touchdown efficiency for their drives, only behind the Ravens.
Wow.
That just proves how much of a game changer he has been for that team going forward.
And how much Adam Gase sucks.
Yeah.
Seriously. Yeah.
For real.
I got to take the Texans in this one, though. I got to take them in that whole series between the two of them. No?
No, I don't like it.
I like it.
I don't like it.
I like it.
Dude, I'm high on the Titans right now. I don't think that the Texans have an answer for Derrick Henry unless he slows up with this hamstring issue. I don't see a way that the Texans are going to be able to run an effective offensive game plan because the Titans are going to have the ball for the majority of those games. So unless the Texans can figure out how to do that, I have a hard time betting against the Titans. And I'm not saying they're going to win both these matchups. I think they're going to be good football games.
Yeah.
But I this week I have to roll with the Titans, especially after they got their ass kicked by the Broncos.
I could see a split from a season perspective. What's is this a road game for the Titans or home?
Home game
For the Titans. Yeah, I'd probably roll Titans. I'm rolling behind my boy. Send some positive vibes to Derrick Henry. He's gonna roll me into fantasy championship this week with 3 touchdowns.
Whew.
You heard it. 3 touchdowns.
Heard it here first. Then we have the Rams and the Cowboys. Another big playoff implication game.
The Rams have to stay alive.
Yeah.
They're
Rams have to win out.
Yeah, they're behind 2 very good football teams for, with the Seahawks and the Vikings for this next playoff spot, and they got to hope that those teams lose and they got to win. And for the Cowboys, I mean, show up.
Just do something.
Yeah, I mean,
who are you more of a believer in? Not just from a season perspective, but from like going forward in the playoffs and stuff.
Okay, this is a tough question because Dak Prescott is a hell of a lot better quarterback than Jared Goff.
Agreed.
But Sean McVay is a hell of a lot better coach than Jason Garrett.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like, throughout the remainder of the season, I would lean more towards the Rams, even though I've been ragging on them. I mean, the Cowboys have looked like a dead fish right now, and they're not doing anything.
Mm-hmm.
And at this point, unless you can see a spark lit in that offense, I mean, they're not going to win this game. They're not going to win. I mean, they're not to say they're not going to win their division because, I mean, they have to play the Eagles at some point, and
yeah,
who knows what's going to happen there.
Something's got to give.
Yeah, so I don't know.
Yeah, I agree. I want to believe in the Cowboys just for the talent that they have, but I don't want to believe in the Cowboys because Jason Garrett removed from that organization. The Cowboys are better for it.
Mm-hmm.
So, 100%.
I think the Rams are the better team, and they're probably not going to make the playoffs. And Cowboys.
I don't think the Rams are the better team. I
think the Cowboys,
are the better team. I just think that they're poorly managed.
Are you talking about? I'm talking about like excluding just personnel. I'm talking about just like the way they're playing right now. I think the Rams are a better team.
Absolutely.
Personnel wise, I think the Cowboys are among the best in the game.
Yeah.
But
no doubt about it.
The Cowboys, they're still my pick for that division. I think they'll knock off the Eagles, and is it the following week 16, right? And I think the Cowboys are going to lose this game.
Yeah.
Then we have the Bills and the Steelers, 2 wild card teams. They got to battle through. I mean, it's tough.
That's going to be a gritty game.
Yeah, that'll be a gritty game. Is it in Buffalo? Do you know? I don't know where it is.
Either way, in Buffalo or not, we'll have Roethlisberger on the sideline eating some buffalo. So,
what's your pick? Peanut Gallery?
Yeah, who do you like in this game, Alex?
Yeah,
Bills
I didn't know who they were referencing. Peanut Gallery for, but I'm gonna hope for the Bills on this one.
Hope for the Bills. All right. I gotta say, I agree. I like it. I like the Bills in this one.
It's in Pittsburgh, by the way.
Yeah.
Still going with the Bills.
I like the Bills in this one. I just want to see the Bills get into the playoffs.
I mean, they got in last year and the year before, didn't they?
I just
Not
like
last year.
no, I just like Bills.
2 years ago.
I just like Bills in the playoffs. I feel like the Bills are now America's team.
I like the Steelers in this matchup, man.
They're the new
I have
Browns.
zero faith in Josh Allen's ability to put the ball where it needs to go, and the DBs for the Steelers are flying around like a freaking bat out of hell, man.
Yeah, they are.
And Josh Allen, we saw it last week. He has no accuracy past 20 yards, and if it gets forced into a game where he's got to start completing throws on a dime, I like the Steelers' chances better.
I agree. I mean, that's the thing too. Is like I just wish Josh Allen could just take a little bit off. He just misses by like 6 inches every time.
I don't know. I saw him throw some like 10 yards past the other day, and I was like, "What are you doing?"
But it's like you just brought it down just a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm leaning Pittsburgh on this one too. I think it's going to be a really close game. It's going to come down to that final drive more than likely. I feel like I'd have to lean towards Pittsburgh's success in the past with Mike Tomlin. I think that's kind of the difference maker in this game.
Mm.
And I do like the Bills. I think they're a phenomenal team. I think they're among the best in the AFC.
Phenomenal.
Yeah, I think they're a phenomenal team. They embarrassed the Cowboys on Thanksgiving. That was
phenomenal.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
That's two different things.
Pretty good and phenomenal.
Pretty good and phenomenal.
All right, let's critique my one.
I mean,
word.
the Ravens are phenomenal.
Yes, they are.
But the Bills are still very good.
Solid football team.
The Bills are above average.
They are a good team.
Solid football team.
They're solid A minus.
In my eyes, they're a playoff team. I think both of these teams are going to make the playoffs. I think it's coming down to the fact that the Texans and the Titans have to play each other twice is probably going to knock whatever team does out of that division that doesn't win it.
Mm-hmm.
Both of these teams, I think they honestly both play the Jets at some point. So
yeah,
that's a guaranteed win.
Yeah,
guaranteed.
I mean, they're both good teams, and I think it's hard to decide, especially when you get into those wild card teams. Bills are had a pretty soft schedule at the beginning of the year, so their win-loss ratio is a little inflated. But they hung tight with the Ravens last week. They really did, and it wasn't like they got blown out of the water. But I just like the Steelers matchup a little bit because of their ability to fly on the defensive side.
Yeah, I agree.
I'd like to comment how the Bills are 5-1 away, and the Steelers are 5-2 at home. So it's going to be an exciting game, and we'll see who has the ability to clutch it.
Great take.
That was
Good job.
fantastic.
Great take.
Only took you 48 minutes.
Glad you guys approved.
Let's get into some baseball. Padres made a pretty big move, acquiring Tommy Pham, sending away Austin Allen.
Nope.
We gave up Hunter Renfroe.
Oh, that's what that was.
Xavier
Edwards.
I was thinking of
Nope.
the pro farm.
And we have a player to be
yeah.
named later also is tied into that.
So there was a little bit drama behind this Tommy Pham trade.
Yeah, I saw something. He's got an issue with his elbow, right?
It was actually made official today. They finally finalized the deal. It's done. He's on the Padres.
All right, I know.
But it was a physical issue. The doctors that they had said that there was an issue with the elbow. Padres still wanted him, but they wanted to renegotiate, the players, the value, all that stuff with the contract. But I like this trade. I think that moving forward, we saw the rebuild from 2015 where they brought in all these. It was 2015, right? Upton and Kemp and
I thought it was
14 maybe
2014.
2014. Yeah, that sounds better. But they just kind of brought in a lot of talented players and not players that necessarily mesh well together. The two players that they've added do everything that the Padres need, and that is get on base, put the ball in play, not strike out.
And they get good speed too.
Yeah.
So they're multi-tool.
Plus side speed. Yeah, absolutely.
multi-tool players. They're not just a one-trick pony.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm more bummed out that we got rid of Xavier Edwards than I am Hunter Renfrow. I think that Xavier Edwards, I mean, potential, never going to be a guy that hits for a lot of power, but he's a really fast middle infielder who puts the ball in play and gets on base a lot.
They compare him to Sean Figgins a lot, I think. And a lot of the baseball GMs out there, they like their review of this trade, they thought we kind of overpaid because everybody's pretty high on Xavier Edwards.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with dishing out prospects, so I personally like this trade.
Mm-hmm.
I think that Tommy Pham's value is more of an Eric Hosmer type deal as well, where it's a guy that is a locker room player. He's somebody that can
success.
He can bring that morale into a locker room, and he helps players, reach their full potential. But I also like the fact that he gets on base. So, I mean, to me, dishing out Hunter Renfroe, a dude with plus power who I don't see matching his home run totals that he had this past year again, just because of how crazy hot he got in the first half. Definitely going to miss his arm in right field, but I feel like he's reached his full potential, which is a good baseball player, not necessarily an all-star, but a player that can drive in runners. And when we don't have people that can get on base, it's basically non-essential.
The way I looked at this trade was it was kind of more of a win now move.
Mm-hmm.
I looked at it as, obviously I still think, me personally, I still think Renfroe still has room to grow. I don't think he's fully reached his climax, but what?
It's an interesting choice of.
Well, like a climax of talent. I don't know.
No, it's good. I mean,
No,
but anyways, pinnacle, is that a better word?
no, I like
I
climax.
like climax
Yeah.
better.
I like climax.
Yeah, you like climaxing.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, so
Jesus.
Took a turn.
Yeah.
Well,
Dee were both like,
I knew you guys were set. You guys wanted to hear that, so I just gave you what you wanted to hear.
Thanks. Man.
Well, anyway,
Thanks for giving it to me.
Yeah.
making sure we're awake over here. Like, whoa.
Hunter Renfroe. Obviously, straight up, I would take Tommy Pham for Hunter Renfroe in a heartbeat. Giving up one of our top prospects, that obviously hurts, but we want to win now. I'm tired of waiting for the future.
Yeah, how many prospects have we had?
Yeah, exactly.
And
How long can you keep them
And so,
for?
when I first saw the trade, it's kind of like, it's like getting your house redone and you're seeing the bill from it and you're like, holy shit, this is going to cost a lot of money. And then you walk in, you're like, damn, this is a nice house. So,
Yeah.
No,
and
that's kind of where I'm at right now
Great
with
analogy
this.
for it. Honestly,
with this
it
trade.
really is. Yeah.
Like,
You're right.
and I think when you look at it too, it's like we really like Xavier Edwards. I've been super
Yeah.
high on him. But he's the seventh best prospect in our organization.
Mhm.
And yes, he's phenomenal, but that means there's 6 other guys in our organization that are supposed to be better than him. So
Mhm.
it's nice to be in that situation where it's like, yeah, we gave up Xavier Edwards. Still have Taylor Trammell, still have Patino, still have Gore, still have Abrams. Like we have a plethora of young talent
Yeah.
that we can still like dip into if we need to. But at this point, it's like, the roster now going forward looks a lot better than it did last year.
Yeah, and it's like when Edwards is finally ready to come up, it's like where you're going to put him.
Mhm.
If you're trying to
No,
streamline him
Exactly.
up
Yeah.
anytime soon.
He's
you
a
know?
shortstop.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a shortstop.
Even if you want to put him at second base, you just signed a second baseman. You know what I mean? It's like in my eyes, it is a good move.
Well,
At first, it was hard to kind of like.
And taking players out of their comfort zone too. Like we've seen when players move position, it's hard. Like
Yeah.
their bat is probably the first thing that struggles because they're trying to learn a new position.
Yeah.
And I totally agree with that because even if he reaches his full potential, is his full potential Fernando Tatis Jr.?
Exactly.
No,
Exactly.
I saw an interview while he was on the Rays, and they were interviewing him. And one of the things I liked about him is I feel like he's got like a really good character. You were mentioned locker room presence. Like they were talking about him, and they were like, "Where do you get all your work ethic from?" And he's like, "Look, I grew up without a father figure. I grew up nobody throwing me the ball. I used to throw the ball against the wall to catch it myself because there's no one there
Yeah.
to throw me the baseball." And just somebody like that growing up, you're like, this guy grew up it wasn't easy growing up.
He wanted
he,
it.
he
still wants
earned
it.
he
It's
earned
not-
it the hard way.
Yeah, absolutely.
It wasn't like he was groomed to be here, and now he's like, well, I guess I'm just gonna play.
Yeah,
It's
no,
like,
absolutely.
He's here, he's trying hard, but it was hard to see Renfro go. I know it's like he was another fan favorite, but
I liked Renfro, but
this return for it, I think it's plus
Yeah,
for
and
us.
like Brandon said, 1-for-1, Tommy Pham straight up for Hunter Renfro. You want Tommy Pham.
You're doing it every time.
And again, like I feel like we've just kind of grown to love Hunter Renfro, and if you can go back the last couple of years and listen to what we said, I know we've had our ups and downs with him, and I think that's the part that you need to remember is that he, even if he ever reaches his full potential, he's so streaky that you just don't know what player you're getting week in and week out, and you can't afford to have one of those streaks come in September when you're pushing for a pennant title.
Especially when it's like technically we are still kind of a young ball club.
Yeah,
you can't really have.
We're definitely a young ball club.
You need consistency.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
but
someone who could show you the way.
Yeah. Then we had Steven Strasburg getting signed by the Nationals. A huge deal, 7-year, $245 million.
Largest ever by a pitcher.
Yep. Beats that David Price Red Sox contract.
Total value and by a year, too. So AAV.
It's just unbelievable. I mean, the dude's 31, so this pays him till he's 38. I mean, I know he's been throwing well, but even
he won't be worth that contract at the end.
You're paying for the player he has been, not
Yeah.
the player he's going to be.
Yeah. But I mean, the years on it is just extreme.
If you would have told me that the Nationals were going to re-sign Strasburg, I thought you'd been crazy because it seemed like during the playoffs, Rendon was their guy.
I was just going to ask, so what do you
they
think
have
this
so
means?
much money tied up in their rotation now that to me, it just seems crazy that you're re-signing Strasburg. But maybe he's a fan favorite over there. He's a guy that they've drafted, they developed. I think Rendon was too, but still, I'm just surprised, to be honest, more than anything.
I mean, just not this past year. 2 years ago, 15-4 with a 2.32 or 2.52 ERA.
He's a
phenomenal
stud.
year.
Yeah, he's a stud.
It's crazy to me because he's a few years or 4 or 5 years removed now from Tommy John surgery. He's definitely changed his ability as a pitcher. This is just a shit ton of money to be tossing out to a player.
A pitcher too. You know how volatile pitchers are too.
Yeah, man. Like I feel like I don't know. I think he's worth good money. I don't think any pitcher is worth this much money. I
agree 100%.
I don't think any of them.
Not even
not a dude that's playing once every 5 games.
Yeah.
Not a fucking chance in hell. But
no, for sure.
I think Rendon is going to be deeply missed because, like you said, like
they're not signing him. He's gone. Bye.
Yeah, it's funny too because I listened to a lot of different people that are like, don't get it twisted. The Nationals can sign him. They won't. Big difference.
Rendon and
Yes.
Strasburg.
Yes.
I just have a hard time believing that they could afford to swing that much.
Well, there's a shit ton of money coming into him now off of ticket revenue,
Yeah.
the money that you got from winning the World Series. That your franchise increases drastically after you win a World Series. There's more money to be had there. Like you're saying, on paper, it doesn't look realistic, but the money is there.
Mm-hmm.
They wouldn't have much to sign anybody else. But that's where I'm like, did you guys never have the conversation about trying to sign both these players? If you did and it didn't work, how did you end up at $35 million a year for one of them? Because that's insane.
That's a lot of money.
It's a shit ton of money.
Shit ton of money.
And I'm not saying he's not worth a huge contract, but $35 million.
I'm not even sure, like, Clayton Kershaw back in his prime
I cannot think of one pitcher in baseball that I would pay $35 million a year to and feel like I'm in a better situation now than I was prior to him signing.
Agreed.
You can pay Mike Trout $35 million a year if you want to. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, you think about it, he's getting paid more than Manny Machado,
Bryce Harper, Giancarlo Stanton.
I think it's hard to rationalize paying this much for a guy that's gonna play for you one in every 5
1 every
days.
5 games.
You know what I mean?
He plays 1/5 of the
And
games.
not only that,
at his
but it's
age.
like, and also this is a guy who, I mean, he has had Tommy John surgery, so it's that elbow's supposed to be bulletproof or that kind of stuff.
He stopped throwing as hard too, so
he stopped throwing as hard. But even still, it's like this is a guy that you consistently limit his innings like year to year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So even
This was
1
like
in
the
5
first
is
year
kind of
they
like a
didn't.
stretch.
and you already have Max Scherzer.
And
Yes.
you have Patrick Corbin, and you have a number of other stud pitchers on your team, and yet you felt the need to re-sign another.
I get it that
at
they
this
think that
amount.
with this rotation, it puts them in a better position to win games long term. And absolutely, they just won the freaking World Series. Why wouldn't it have helped? But when it comes to paying the more important player, I don't think that it was Strasburg. I think they got that wrong hard.
Strasburg was no doubt. Both of those players were key. Like,
Well, yeah, he was the World Series MVP.
You remove one of them, they're not winning the World Series from this team. But still, I mean, I thought Rendon was probably a little bit more of a better impact from the entire playoff perspective. I think World Series wise,
He's very underrated too.
Yeah.
Like I think now that he's won a World Series, people are starting to recognize him for the player that he is. But he's an all-star. He's a Gold Glove. I mean, phenomenal third baseman, and I mean he's in talks with Manny Machado and Arenado for being the best third baseman in all of baseball.
Mhm.
Like, I mean, if you didn't sign Patrick Corbin last year, I could understand this deal. But like every freaking, how many more years now until you can win another World Series? That's still your goal. You're not done.
You're not done. You're not just
basically.
gonna sit there.
This is like with a team that they have now I feel like is going to be still like a close to playoff caliber team, but they're just going to slowly decline.
Well, they were saying that they have a third baseman that they feel like is ready to come up, and they think that he's going to be really good. But it's like, again, the prospect talk.
Yeah,
you're flipping a coin.
Yeah,
there's a 50-50 chance when that guy gets up there that he's going to be good or bad.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know.
Yeah, I think the thing that's the craziest part about this deal though is, what is Garrett Cole going to get now? Because Garrett Cole's clearly the better pitcher in the market.
He'll get
$38 million a year.
Apparently, according to Buster Olney, he's already got a larger contract with the Yankees right now on the table. But I felt like that was kind of already implied.
Well, you knew he wasn't going to re-sign with the Astros. Like, that was a given.
Yeah.
And I think at this point it's been a bit like, who can throw the most money out at him. But I'm like,
Yankees are getting him, in my opinion.
There's nobody else that can pay him as much.
Yeah.
Not this. Yeah.
The Yankees have been pretty. They've been
Yankees
saving up for a little
waiting
while.
for this move. Mm-hmm. They've been waiting for that guy. I do think that Strasburg is the better pitcher, personally. But I mean, shit. At this point, $35 million a year or $38 million, whatever this dude ends up getting, I ain't paying either of them.
Yeah, it's a shitload of money.
No way.
I like you said before, starting pitching, I value it, but I don't value it to that extent.
Shorter term, if that and I get these players want like long-term deals, and that's everything. But like, I don't understand how baseball has allowed for these contracts for pitchers to get so outrageous.
It seems like, I mean, I'm not opposed to paying players more per year, but the length of these contracts are pretty ridiculous.
And most of it comes down to like the player control for how many years they're in a system.
Mm.
It's like they don't end up hitting free agency until they're 28 to 31 years old.
Harper got a 13-year deal? Or, yeah, like 13, 330, right?
Yeah.
It was, it's like,
it's ridiculous
to be signing a guy. I mean, Bryce Harper obviously is pretty young. He's probably going to be into like close to 40 when his contract's up, but still, like, no player's worth that length of contract. And I know we signed Machado, and we're probably going to be regretting it on the last couple of years of his deal, but
10 years ain't 13 though.
No, it is, but still, 10 years is 10 years.
It's still a long time, but I mean, even still, he won't be completely washed up.
I felt like 10 years, I was like, well, how the hell are you going to sign anybody to a 10-year contract?
Yeah.
And then somebody signed a 13-year contract, and I was like, what happened?
That was, he just wanted to have the largest in contract history, and he
just signed him for life at that point.
He just set his demand and did not budge, and it worked out.
And I'm like, if you're going to give him that money, why don't you just give it to him in a shorter time period? If you're paying it to him.
You still have the money, but
yeah,
I don't know.
Oh, well, we don't want to pay him that much this year. It's like, what?
It's budgeting is what it is. They're trying to like in the future. They're not trying to.
They know more than we do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then you had Didi signing a 1-year deal with the Phillies. I mean, I like Didi. I think he's a good player.
Yeah, he is.
I feel like he kind of deserves a little bit more respect, but, he's going to play for another 1-year contract, and we'll see how he does.
He's going to play on a good baseball team, too.
Yeah, good team, good system, so we'll see from there. Last bit of news that we had was Kirby Yates getting
I saw that. Nice.
Inaugurated into the All-MLB first team, so that's exciting. Get a Padre
Finally,
in there.
some respect.
Yeah.
We're probably going to have a lot of big news going down by our next podcast because this is the winter meetings and it's just getting started.
They start Thursday, the 12th? Or
I thought they started.
I thought it
started
just
already?
started.
Yeah, they started this
Okay.
week. You guys see any other Padres moving during these winter meetings?
I just saw a rumor that the Padres are going after Whit Merrifield, the all-star second baseman of the Royals, which tells me they're not like totally sold on Jerks and Profar, but
Yeah,
I know Preller loves to wheel and deal. It makes me just like, all right.
It makes me so confused.
Yeah, so confused. It's like, at what point are you going to just stop and be like, this is the guy we're looking for.
Yeah.
Like, this is who we really want. You know what I mean? It's just
Preller is like the kid on MLB The Show who's like the GM, and he's like, yeah, I want to get him on my team. Yeah, he looks good.
Yeah.
Whoever has the most overall points.
I don't know. I could see Austin Hedges getting moved.
I wouldn't be surprised if he was gone.
Yeah. Outside of that, I mean,
Will Myers has to be on the block.
Oh,
here.
he was the biggest one. Last I heard, he was.
They're trying to move him plus prospects. They're like, you could have a couple people.
Yeah, and they're willing to eat half his contract. It sounds like so he's owed like $60 million over the next 3 years, and they're willing to eat like 30 of it and throw in a prospect just to unload him.
Yeah, I mean, if they can unload him, it's just I just don't know who's gonna really touch him.
At that point, you're getting a 50% discount on him. There might be some teams out there.
If somebody's
if
doing
the prospect's like even decent enough.
Yeah, if we're talking like a top 10 prospect, I feel like we're giving up way too much.
I don't think it'd be top 10, but like like a top 15 prospect is probably like a top 5 somewhere else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a solid prospect.
Yeah, I agree. All right, guys. Well, Alex, I don't know if you listen to our podcast, but we do a stat of the day every week.
Good job. You're up.
Yep. What do you got?
What's your stat?
How many days has it been since you were last in this podcast room?
First time.
A lot.
That's not even a stat. That's like a fact.
I'm just asking a question.
I don't know. I was just trying to pull some shit out of it.
I know.
All right, I got a stat. You guys ready?
Yes.
All right, so you know how I love the beginning of the season when we
Gambling.
have the undefeated teams and the defeated teams, like who's going to go the longest.
Yeah.
So we don't have any of the teams that are still undefeated, but we have players. So Josh Gordon is the only undefeated player or team. He is 9-0 this season.
Yeah.
And then on the flip side of that coin, we have
Wait, Josh Gordon plays for the Seahawks.
Yeah, but when he got traded, they haven't lost.
They lost this past week.
Well, fine. This was from a couple days ago.
Oh, okay.
Last week.
I was like, well, he just lost to the Rams.
It was so now we don't have any undefeated teams or players.
He's like, great. Now I don't have a stat anymore. Thanks, Ryan.
We still have a defeated player with Kenyon Drake going 0 and I guess 12 now.
Poor man.
Oh,
0-6 with Dolphins, 0-6 with the Cardinals. So
he's the curse.
He just needs a win.
I got a stat for you guys.
What do you got?
I read that the Bills last time beat the Steelers at home in 1993. So trying to build hype for that game.
Oh,
damn! There you go, man.
That was great.
Nice work.
Thank you. Before that was in the 70s.
Whew! Every like 20 years.
I got a stat for you: 2 touchdowns and a field goal.
Baby, we coming to you live.
We don't need to tell the story.
Yeah, we need to tell the story.
We don't need to talk about this. Bringing up old shit.
Yeah.
Always want to bring up old shit.
It's Madden.
Yeah. And whoever wants to pass the sticks, let's do it.
Dude, I haven't played Madden in so long.
I mean,
that was. I still remember that shit.
I remember
I was
Ross wanted to play
inebriated.
me. I beat him by like 5 touchdowns.
I was inebriated at the time, so it doesn't count. I was coerced into losing that game.
I still feel like FIFA was the best way Like,
Oh man,
Oh,
that was
yeah.
so fun.
For all you out there that haven't come to one of our house parties, we used to run the table with FIFA.
Dude, that shit was dope.
That was
Oh,
that was a
man.
good time.
Tens and $20s of dollars were bet playing FIFA.
Tens and tens and
I thought, like,
tens.
more or less just, like, the beer pong with the shot in it was the loser.
And Chelsea with the header.
Oh man, good times.
Dirty dog.
Good times.
You motorboating son of a bitch.
Oh man.
All right, everybody. We are the Three Amigos and a podcast. We will be back next week. I mean, the year's coming up on us pretty soon. Do you guys want to do some kind of like? Yeah, we'll have to come up with some fun list of the decade for.
Yeah, we'll
everything.
do that. We'll do that.
But all right, everybody. We will be back next week.
All right. Bye, guys.
Hey, I'd like to say thank you and a shout out to the Three Amigos podcast for the daily dose, the weekly dose of sports.
You can listen to us every day if you want.
Anytime, man.
Yeah, you can just listen to us on repeat. I know we have a lot of pearls of wisdom here, so
Yep. Pearls?
pearls. That's a phrase, right?
I don't know. I've never heard it.
You say pearls?
Pearls.
Pearls like the...
Like a pearl necklace? No.
Yeah, pearl necklace.
Go
Is
back
he saying
to
pearls or pearls?
I don't know.
pearls, like
Pearls.
like diamonds and pearls.
Like, hey, when did you get that pearl necklace?
Pearl.
With a W?
I don't. Just go back to climax.
I don't know where. I don't know.
Bye, guys.
Later.